On this episode, we're finishing up another round of listener mailbag questions. Today is July 31st, 2026, and this is episode 891 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
Well, hey guys, you can tell we are on the road in our rolling
studio.
There you go.
Was it Willie Nelson on the road again? Is he the one who did that song?
Probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Where are we headed?
Well, we are specifically headed to the Wyndham at Disney Springs, to home. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Scott and Michelle and that whole crew, and we're excited. Hope to sneak away maybe tonight.
Yeah, we're going to try. We got to see when we get down there. And if you still want to learn more about House of Mouse Expo, you can go to houseofmouseexpo.com. You can still get tickets, cast members, team members, if you work for SeaWorld. If you show up at the door and you have your ID on you, your Disney ID or your SeaWorld or Universal, you can get tickets for $10, or you can just buy tickets online. So come out and see us. We'll be running around and helping out all weekend. But yeah, we're driving down here Thursday, and Expo starts tomorrow. So depending on what we have to do when we get there, we might try and sneak over to Magic Kingdom because it's open till 11 tonight.
Yes.
So,
But what did we do before we got on the road?
First of all,
I would say, why is it so late? But
well, they don't know that. It's 4:00, which is late for us to get down to Disney. We're about an hour out, but the four of us, you and I and our two children,
Yes.
which does not happen a lot.
Nope.
We went to the movies.
Yes.
We saw Spider-Man Brand New Day. It was the first showing today in our set of theaters near us. Obviously, without any type of spoilers, thoughts?
It was great.
Good. That's about as spoiler-less as you can get.
Yep.
Yeah, it blows my mind that this is the fourth full Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that still is just
Yeah,
so.
I
And
agree.
Tom Holland has been doing this for a decade. Like we've been watching him grow up before our eyes as
I
Peter
know.
Parker and Spider-Man.
So cute.
I loved it. I think everybody's going to really enjoy it. It was done very, very well. What I think the Spider-Man movies specifically have done such an incredible job of is they're movies that are about not fictional, but you know what I mean? They're movies about characters with emotion and problems and real lives that happen to also have superhero stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's not the opposite. Most of them are superhero movies, and then maybe you dive a little bit into the psyche of the hero or the emotional whatever, and these are almost like flipped. So in general, even without the superhero stuff, they're just such good movies about these characters that you've like grown to love. So I thought it was wonderful. And that's all I got to say about that. But today we're going to finish up our listener questioner series for this quarter. So we got about another 10 questions or so spanning both Facebook, and we have a couple from Twitter. So let's dive right into it. Rhonda, I think this first one is really for you from Larissa. We all know the Anandapur Ice Cream Truck in Animal Kingdom is amazing. Are any other ice cream places that have the vanilla chocolate soft serve in other parks the same amazing ice cream?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think the Anandapur truck just, I don't know why it kind of hits differently.
Yeah.
But I believe so. I'm not sure if they are the exact same, but all the soft serve across Disney is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you don't find it in a lot of places.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, a lot of things I think of go-to spots, obviously Salt and Straw for us, the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor on Main Street, and Magic. Like, these are all hand-scooped ice creams. It is kind of hard to find soft serve. I know some places you can get them, for example, though, are some of the buffets that you do.
Yep.
Like, for example, I'm thinking of Crystal Palace that has the soft serve machine with the cake cones that you can get at the end of your meal. Hollywood and Vine had it. It's been a while. I'm trying to remember if like Tusker House, but a lot of times you can find that same really good soft serve there. And then when you're looking at going to the water parks, you can get soft serve there as well at some of their ice cream stands. You know, like I know the ice cream spot that we go to at Typhoon that does the big sand pail bucket.
Yeah. So
that has soft serve out of the same type of machines, I believe, same recipe. But I wish that there were more standalone areas like Anandapur at little kiosks or whatever throughout each of the parks where you could get it without it having to be Dole Whip. But like she's saying, just give me legit good vanilla, chocolate, the swirl.
Right.
You don't even have to get fancy with it the way that Anandapur does sometimes.
Yeah.
We do need to try their new Moana-inspired sundae that actually I did not think looked very good, but they finally replaced the Yeti one.
Right.
So we'll see next time we're at Animal Kingdom. All right. Matt asks, thoughts on dining plans? I've always assumed they were worth it. Now I'm unsure. What are kind of your general thoughts on the dining plan?
I think we've actually talked about this a long time ago when we did it. And honestly, the main reason it's worth it is for when you're getting something like Cinderella's Royal Table and you're using it for that.
Yeah, and you have to use the 2 credits.
Right.
Yep.
Because we don't eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
So we need to try it again. But when we did, it was nice because it was like quote unquote paid for. So you did feel like it was free in a sense when you were going to eat.
Yeah, it gives you that all-inclusive feel once you actually show up on property.
But for us, I believe there's just so much food involved.
Yeah.
That's why it's not really good for us.
Well, and you have to, again, I don't want to be a cop-out, but it's one of those, again, like the dining plan works for the people the dining plan works for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because every scenario can be very different.
Yes.
I know one of our good friends, Christina, and her family, they got 2 boys who are men now, but even this was a couple of years ago, like they found they were having to eat so much because you have spent, this is the thing, you've spent the money.
Right.
So you want to get the most out of it. So what you find is one thing is, it takes a lot more planning.
Yes, it does.
Depending on which dining plan you're doing, but you're looking at saying, well, now I have to get reservations for a lot of these meals. And I have to make sure that I'm there for the reservation so I don't miss out on the money that I spent. So there's that. There's what Rhonda was just saying. It can be a lot of food.
Yes.
For us and our kids now being pass holders, not doing packages and stuff, the dining plan doesn't really come across our table a lot as something to book. But, there's never a point, even now, if we said, all right, we need to book a full package. The girls need tickets. We're going to go for a couple of days, whatever it may be. We're going to look at the dining plan. For our family, it would probably never work. The kids aren't going to eat enough food. You're not going to eat enough food. I don't need to eat enough food. So you have to look at things like that. Also, you have to remember, you think you're saving all this money when they do like these free dining plan offers, which is the time I think to test it out.
Right.
But when you do a free dining plan offer, that means you're paying rack rate on whatever your room or package is.
Right.
So sometimes the cost saving isn't really there.
Yeah.
What I think makes more sense is to look at the cost of a dining plan, see what you really can utilize, right?
Yeah.
So menus are all online. Go out on the menus and look. Is this where are the restaurants we can get the most bang for? That's the other thing too.
Right.
You find yourself wanting to eat, like Rhonda said, at the Cinderella Royal tables because you're looking at the best bang for your buck. Everywhere you sit down, you're like, well, I should probably get the steak. It's the most expensive thing. And sometimes it's not. So go out, look at menus, and just pretend, do a rough estimate of, here's what I would spend in a day if we were paying out of pocket.
Right.
And see how that equals out to the dining plan cost. And you could do that for an entire trip if you wanted to. So take a look at things like that. But overall, are you the types that are going to use the refillable mug at your resort that's included? If you're not, that's worth $23 right there that you could be spending and not utilizing enough.
Per person.
Per person, correct. So I think you have to look at that. I see so many times out on social, the person on checkout day, and they're like, yeah, I got 20 snack credits, and you've paid for those. So I think you can actually save more by getting with Amy at MEI Travel, getting the best deal you can on your tickets, on your room, and then budgeting out specifically per day, per person for meals.
Yeah.
And then utilize things like the discount you can get using your red card at Target or some of these wholesale places like Sam Clubs or BJ's
and I
have
started
discounts.
and I started to say and put it on a Disney gift card and almost act like it's like the dining plan. If you put all that on there, it's still going to be like you prepaid for it.
It will feel that way. You're right. Yeah, especially if you budget and separated. It's not just, hey, we have a gift card for $4,000 for our trip. And we've said this in the past. It's, hey, we have a gift card for $1,000 to cover food for X days. Or again, you could even have a gift card per day, label them, separate them and say, and now that you can load them into My Disney Experience.
Oh, that's game changer.
It probably feels even more like you're getting it for free.
Yeah.
So something to think about. Kendall asks, if you could only podcast about one Disney park, so we're not going to talk about a location such as Walt Disney World or Disneyland or whatever, one specific park for the rest of your life, which park would you choose?
I guess Magic Kingdom.
That's kind of how I
just because
lean.
it's the largest.
What has the most?
Exactly.
Stuff. Yeah.
They're adding Villains Land.
Cars. You have 2 whole lands that are coming in the course of the next 5 years.
Right.
So that keeps you covered on podcasting.
And then
there's got to be something with Tomorrowland.
I just
coming
heard that
big.
I'm sure they'll do more and they'll just keep.
Yeah.
What does Walt say? They'll just keep looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Sure. All that.
The only other one I could think of is Epcot because of the festivals. That 4 times a year for certain periods, you have a constant rotation of new food items. I think doing that, we'd almost have to become a once a week food podcast.
Yeah.
But I do think that something like that could work. But I agree of the sheer, like right now, Magic Kingdom is my favorite park.
Yeah.
It really and truly is. Out of the sheer amount of attractions, shows, what's coming, even though it may not always have the great, the best food options, they are constantly evolving, I feel like, with some of the snacks that they're doing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maybe that'll change too. And all of a sudden we'll get a really good dining place in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, again, we're going to get some form of dining within Piston Peak Cars area, within Villains Land.
Okay.
Right. So whatever they decide for a all new Tomorrowland, we would hope they get some updated dining and stuff in there. So I think you have a constant influx of stuff that's going to be coming down, that you're constantly going to be able to do. All right, we're going to move on to Pat, our good friend Pat and bird lover who likes to add bird questions. And I think he does it because he doesn't think we're going to answer them, but we are. So if you had to create a bird for you to be, what features would you have? Where would you live? So like, you got to think of the type of bird you would be, what you would have, like short beaks, long beaks. Where do you want to live? You want to live in the tropic? Do you want to What kind of bird would you create for
I feel
yourself?
like I just want to
Rhonda?
be an eagle. Eagle.
An eagle? So something eagle-like?
Yeah, like a big enough bird to defend myself and stuff, but yet small enough to not have to, that can be in a nest somewhere and can almost hide. I don't know.
That's fair. I think I'd create it to be a bird that isn't affected by whatever they have up on the Eiffel Tower, so that I could land on it, and then I could laugh at all the other birds around and be like, haha, you can't sit here.
Right.
I can.
No.
And that would be cool. But I would also I would want my size to be in a forced perspective where I wouldn't ruin it for all the guests on the ground. So I think I'd have to be a super tiny bird, but then they're more stealth. You know what I mean?
You're going to get eaten real quick.
Are a lot of birds eating other birds?
I think so.
I mean, Pat probably knows. Though I don't feel like a lot of birds eat other birds.
But other things catch birds, like cats. Like, remember Kiki?
Well, yeah, but I don't think there's going to be any cats on the Eiffel Tower. So I feel like I'm kind of safe there. So
I would not want to be that small.
Well, where do you want to live? What kind of area do you want to? Do you want to be a tropical eagle? Do you want to be like a northern?
Disney World.
You're going to live so you're going to live in Disney World with me. So you can protect me.
No, because I'm going to be soaring around all over, everywhere.
Are you bringing me back food? Would you be the type though that would just be down like picking off French fry? Like, or are you going to be swooping down and eating fish out of the Seven Seas Lagoon and stuff? So I'd be like the French fry picker.
Yeah,
heading down.
I mean,
everybody
if you're that tiny,
I'll be so cute. Everybody will want to feed me. I'll be the cutest little bird. So it's pretty much a win-win for me. Right?
I don't know, man. What if something gets you?
Yeah. I mean, if they start letting out cats, I would stay away from Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge, I just wouldn't head over there. Because then I feel like something could get me. Because I'm just going to be the tiniest little guy. And my colors, I would be red and black. And have like a white, like, what do they call it? What's their neck, chest area? A breast, right? And I would have that, and I'd be like the Main Street Magic Bird.
Okay.
So hopefully that satisfies what you need, Pat, for your bird question. Keep them coming. Our good friend Jody asked, build your own EPCOT festival with like your scavenger hunt, your food booths, entertainment theme. We've thrown this idea around before. There is an I'm so sorry. I want to go back real quick to Matt. If you go back to episode 574, I know it's a little while ago, but it was when they re-announced the dining plans and all coming back. We did a complete breakdown. Yeah. Obviously, since then, prices on things have increased, but it gives you an idea of how you can break it down. So back to Jody's and building your own EPCOT festival. What would you be looking at?
I really would go like probably back to like the Festival of the Holidays and it just be Frozen every year. Really love
that. But I'm saying if you had to build a whole new one, it's not in the idea of
it's a Frozen
of fixing one. We're talking about, I feel like, and maybe that is kind of what she means, but I'm thinking of the point right now, we still have a month until Food and Wine starts. We've been a month or so, now since Flower and Garden.
I think we've talked about
this before. We still have this break.
Where maybe like some type of summer food, summer festival. Like, I mean, even with Frozen, like all things summer.
Right.
And hot.
Yeah.
And, and have a lot of, well, I would say salads, but then, with the news. You don't want salads.
It's just everything is meat.
Fruits and, like things like that, where it's something you want to get. You want to go around, maybe some, I don't know how to do it, but maybe some, how do you say it? Like nice, good, like desserts and ice creams, but not, they'd have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I think, and that's the idea we kind of had was the summer, like the in-summer Frozen festival, right? So what you would have to do is you would have to look at the Festival of the Holidays, and you would have to basically pull, I think, Olaf out, replace him, because I think it's such a perfect scavenger hunt. Yeah. Like I wouldn't want something different than that. and you do have something like you said, where it is kind of frozen food, not frozen foods, but cool foods, like a big focus on desserts, ice creams, light meals. The other thing that I think could work really well is you pull the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival idea over here. And you do it during this gap where we have no festivals anymore.
Yeah.
And you borrow from what they're doing in California and the West Coast, which would still lend to, I feel like, much more of a summer style, lighter foods, lots of things that are again, salads, seafoods, avocado, like fruits, veggies, and things like that. And you do something along those lines just to kind of bridge this gap, and you do a very small festival.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a really good time the parks have been very, very slow this summer. So you even do the prepaid lanyards like they have out there, to bring more people in, especially when it comes to locals. And you do that, and it's literally themed around Disney's California Adventure. So you're bringing West Coast to East Coast, and that becomes the theme. If you're doing that, I mean, yeah, entertainment wise, I would love the idea of, and they've done some of this before. The entertainment is still happening. It's a concert series. It's in the Garden Rocks Theater, and it's all bands that are local to Orlando.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Or you bring ones that are local to California, but then you got to bring them all the way over here. So why not give a bunch of great local bands here a shot?
Yeah.
Another one that you do is you only focus on local, whether you are bringing that California, or you literally do almost an Orlando local festival.
Yeah.
Instead of Disney's California Adventure, it's Orlando, and you're focusing on bringing actual chefs from some of the local restaurants, bringing the breweries in, vineyards that are all around the area, and you bring those in, and then they create their menus and things like that. You have the local band, so it becomes this local festival, and it drives a lot of local traffic during a time that the parks are down, because locals don't want to go to the parks when it's this hot.
True.
Right? We got to deal with this heat all year long.
True.
And normal people don't want to come into the parks.
Yeah.
So all of that to say, do an Orlando style
That'd be cool.
festival.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Olivia said, how do you keep your trips as exciting and magical as the first one? Going for the third time in September, and sometimes I feel like I know too much to keep it exciting. What are your tips for keeping our trips exciting, which you said?
I think one main thing is not to have major expectations, just to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, try something, we've done this before. We're like, all right, we're going to do something we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you play not Russian roulette, the arcade.
Yeah, please don't play Russian roulette. Yeah, play like bus roulette. Or I know you're trying to focus on driving and not killing us, so I appreciate that. First of all, being your third time, you have not experienced even a fraction of what Disney World has to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that Olivia can probably say, like, well, the last two times we went, let's just say we got lightning lanes and we hit all four parks and we did all the rides. And okay.
Right.
Well, you know what? What have you not done that is food related?
Right.
That is show related or entertainment related?
Right.
That is, what resorts have you not stayed at? Obviously, there's plenty, and budget depending, stay at a resort you didn't stay at the last two times,
Yeah.
Have you done the water parks?
Right.
Like I even look ahead right now, we're kind of planning this September trip where there's going to be kind of like a mini Main Street Magic reunion almost. We have been, if we were to go back, and the picture just showed up the other day from what we always talk about with Kaylin meeting Mickey Mouse for the first time at 18 months old, right?
So
and her
great.
kissing him on the nose, and I got the photo and all, and it showed up. Since that moment, which now would have been 16 and a half years ago, I can only venture to say that we have gone 300 to 400 times. I don't know. maybe more. I mean, we're talking almost 2 decades at an average of once a month. You know, you're already looking at a lot, several hundred times.
Right.
I'm looking forward to September because we're going to be staying at Riviera, which we've never stayed at. Right? That's exciting. We're doing a fireworks cruise with a group of friends that we have done before, but it's been so long, and with a different group of friends when we did it.
Right.
Like, that's super exciting.
Yes.
I think Amy, who we're going with, our wonderful travel agent, our advisor, has booked Topolino's, which we have not eaten at some time.
Yeah.
And one of the last times we did eat there was with a big group of folks, and many of them will be there again. You know, and so like that keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's something that you can always look at. I'll go back to when we used to take the girls and we made sure that every trip we had a Disney first.
Yes.
And that might be.
And that's where I was thinking, like, you know, try to have a Disney first and, you know, like try to, like Jeremy said, you know, figure out, you know, what you haven't ridden, what you haven't stayed at, what, you know, like, or, you know, like, focus on like, all right, well, we're not going to ride this ride, maybe except this one, but then we're going to see all the shows. And, I mean, you know.
Yeah. Have you spent a resort day in the past?
Yeah.
You know, where did you stay? And was one of those days where you said, you know what, we're going to take in everything this resort has to offer, or we're going to spend an evening at Disney Springs.
Right.
There's so much entertainment and things to do there.
Have you done Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yep. So I think there's still so much, you know, I think that it's real easy to put Disney World in a bubble for folks who don't have an opportunity to go a lot because they think it is just about the rides and the attractions, which is understandable. You know, that's what Disney markets the most. That's what people are going to come back and talk about the most. But when you start to kind of take those out and look outside that little bubble, there's so much more to experience just beyond that, that I think you can focus on. So, all right. Adam says, what do you think of this idea? And he has a long idea. I'm going to read you. All right. Instead of a 5th gate or more cruise ships, they focus on New York, Chicago, Houston, Denver, and build mini Disneys. Think of Great Wolf Lodge, but in Disney fashion. All indoors with water parks, restaurants, gift shops, meet and greet, shows, snacks, spa, movie theater, all that stuff. You'd have indoor rides where you could copy an existing ride like a Pirates. You'd have an old ride, something that's gone, like a Great Movie ride. A new ride that only exists at that location, and then each mini Disney would be different from each other.
I mean, that's a great idea. They just need land.
Well, I think they could find land, but you're right. Within major cities,
I just started to
might
say,
be the hard
like,
part. So you'd be looking at the suburbs of some of these major cities.
100%.
I mean, I would be all for it, and I would go visit every single one. You know, if you could have mini Disney parks. Now,
that'd be really cool.
I think you need to take a look at what Universal just did with the Universal Kids Resort, because that's basically what they're doing. You know, Universal built this kids resort as kind of a test to say, is this something to attract people to the major Universal parks like Orlando, Hollywood?
Right.
So let's build stuff that is more accessible to those types of demographics, some of those maybe major city demographics, as kind of a starting point because they're very affordable.
Right.
And Disney certainly could do the same thing. The problem is Disney doesn't need to.
Correct.
And that's what stinks when it comes to things that us as fans would love with Disney.
Right.
Is that they don't need to make a miniature park in Texas because people are already coming to Orlando.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I would love the idea. Like, I think it's a incredible idea. From what I had heard at one point from a reliable source was that the Star Cruiser was going to be kind of a test platform for doing something similar around major cities throughout the US, so that you would build this experience that would have shows, shopping, dining. It would be this cruise-like experience themed after different things across the United States. I heard mention of obviously not only Star Wars, but there being an Avengers one, of there being Haunted Mansion.
Cool. Oh my goodness.
Of there being like the old SEA and kind of the whole, you know, society of that around those building it. Obviously the Star Cruiser didn't, you know, make an impact here in Orlando. So I'm guessing any type of thing like that is dead. What I would think could work on a level that isn't trying to detract from the theme parks, but still build the Disney brand, is kind of copy the idea that Level 99 has. but it's all Disney.
Okay.
So Netflix did, I think Matt went to it, if I remember. He was looking. Netflix did these little pop-ups in areas that included some different gaming and entertainment and dining based around their major TV shows like Stranger Things and Squid Games and all, for example.
Huh.
So what you do is you build something similar to a level 99 that is filled with interactive gaming. And no, not Disney Quest, but interactive gaming that is all driven by the Disney IP and brand. It has full service restaurant within there and gift shops that are all obviously Disney branded. I think you have an opportunity to put some form of entertainment in there, whether it is a show that you borrow something similar, a Broadway style show that you borrow from the cruise lines, because here's the thing, really what you could do is basically, I know Adam says like without, building more cruise ships, you take the entire idea of that cruise and you put it on land, which is what they try to do with the Star Cruiser.
Right.
But I think you do it on the actual scale of the cruise ships, where you could have multiple shows, you could have multiple dining experiences. You have multiple, gift shops, entertainment, and different things like that, all tied back to the Disney IP and brand.
Do you think their biggest problem was making it Star Wars?
No, I think their biggest problem was making it expensive. I think now, yes, I do think that there is such a following that's specific to Star Wars. Like, I think you could create something similar that is branded around Disney princesses, which, invokes all of them, and therefore you open up your audience. Because I can guarantee there were plenty of people that weren't big Star Wars fans that thought, I would love to experience the Star Cruiser.
Right.
But as a not big Star Wars fan, I can't justify that amount of money.
Correct.
So I don't think it had as much to do with the theme as the money. If you had it at a more affordable cost, somebody might go, look, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but this experience looks incredible. It was built and created by Disney, who I love. Therefore, I'm willing to give it a shot at a price that I feel I can afford. You know what I mean? So yes, I do think that they made it so niche that it hurt it in the end. But I also think their concept and their price of this 3-night kind of cruise, 2-night cruise thing is what hurt it as well.
Well, but I also think you take and, you're kind of like, I like Star Wars, but you think you take something else like Disney princesses, or you take something else that's Disney, and then it's like, dang, that's expensive. But I mean, it almost like you said, like a cruise ship, where you're like, dang, cruise ships are expensive, but we still do them. Right. Because it's got all the Disney
Right, it has all of it. You're right. So if you open it up, or again, if you go back to the level 99 type idea and the technologies, a single offering doesn't have to stay that offering. Correct. I mean, when you look at some of those level 99 rooms, like, for example, now the concept has to stay similar, but the 8-bit, the one where you have to jump from cube to cube and not get hit by the fireballs. That is all projection and screen driven, in a sense that it can be whatever you want, whenever you want. Right. You know what I mean? So you could have things that could switch using technology, where the mainstays stay, like the bones of it have to be the same, but kind of you can reskin it as much as you need using technologies and screens and projection mapping and all of that. So you're right. You can open it up to more people, because you are correct. What happens if the next Disney Cruise Line announced was called the Galaxy and it was only Star Wars? I wouldn't want to go. You are not going to see the same bookings that you do for the ones that encompass everything. Correct. So I in the end, that was all my way of saying, yes, you are right. It was the Star Wars theme. The cost certainly plays into effect. Of course. But by you comparing it to a regular cruise price, you're 100%
right. Because you still can justify it. It's expensive, but
right. And that just proves to show that as great as we think it would be to go, man, I could go to Chicago and go to an Avengers hotel. Yeah, that's great for us, but it's not going to be for everyone. So, I think they were lucky. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with Star Cruiser. But, everybody says, oh, well, what a waste of money. That was market research.
Yeah.
They spent all that money on market research to say, is this something that we can do somewhere else? And they found out no. Imagine if from the get-go, they had done a 10-year plan to open one of those every other year, and they had bought land and they had put together all these things, and then they open the first one and go, oh no, this doesn't work. You know what I mean? So really, while it was a huge investment, in the end, it was probably well worth it. You know, now they're getting Imagineer offices out of it, so it doesn't go completely to waste, I guess. But all right, we're gonna move over to Twitter. Our buddy Brandon, who we met at Gideon's most recently, has a question. Said, here's a fun one. Take a restaurant in Disney that you guys dislike, like a quick
STK?
service and full service, and tell us how you would change it to make it better. What would you do with STK?
Make it better.
Well, yeah, but let's just say Disney goes, all right, STK, booting you out. We're coming in to open a Disney
I mean, the
themed
food would have been
restaurant,
better.
an IP. What would you put it there?
Oh God, I feel like almost anything, like Tiana's place, you know. But then that's where
I'm actually going to go to Paddlefish and say, turn that into a Tiana's, because you're there, you're on the water, you have a boat concept.
That'd be cool. Okay. All right.
Because
I like that.
I'm not going to say we dislike Paddlefish, but we have never sat in their main dining area and had a full meal. Because
Correct, but we've
nothing
had
has
at
ever
least good
enticed us
food.
to. We have up on the rooftop thing, but nothing's ever really
Like-
enticed us to go there.
STK was not good.
Well, that one time though, we could go back to STK and it could blow our socks off, but
Okay.
it's not worth it to us because of how bad that experience was. Yeah, I would look at something like that, and do a Paddlefish into a Tiana's. I think boat rights, which we've never disliked, but it's never,
Right.
blown us away either, I think would also be well suited for a Tiana's. I mean, there you are at Port Orleans.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a better match anywhere. As far as quick service, what's a quick service? I'm trying to think of a quick service we really dislike.
I feel like there's not too many.
There aren't.
quick
I mean,
services we quote unquote dislike.
I think Cosmic Race has just fallen into it just being a standard theme
It's not
park restaurant.
It's not.
We don't dislike
like
it,
it. Yeah.
but think of how much you could do there as far as the theming and the atmosphere, as well as the food, to bring it to a Tomorrowland and Cosmic actual type of place. So I think in there you could do something more. But again, it's one of those, Disney doesn't need to. It's one of the most popular restaurants in the world, right?
Is
Like
it
it's one of the
really?
most visited restaurants in the world. I think at one point it was like number one. Like
But I mean, it's got burgers and
it's got burgers, it's got theme
chicken,
park food.
and it's got theme park food,
Yeah.
and it's large, so you can, get your kids, you can sit, you can cool down, you can eat,
Let's do this.
and it's not bad.
Cosmic Rays is huge, right? Like you
Yeah.
just said. We have our two levels. We have our upper level that are around all the bays. We have outdoor seating, and then we have that lower level with sunny
Yeah.
eclipse and dining there, right? What if it became a quick service, table service split, where down with the sunny eclipse, which is kind of like almost now a dinner show, is a sit-down restaurant that has more upscale cosmic style foods. And then upstairs around where the bays are continues to operate as a pretty general theme park,
You
quick service restaurant. You think you would?
Yeah.
You don't think people would go to a sit down with, you don't think people would go to a sit down with a sunny eclipse show? I think they might. And it doesn't have to be like, it could just be a rotating, obviously. Like, it wouldn't be like a hoop-de-doo where you have to go, oh, we got to go sit for 2 hours,
Right.
whatever. But
I mean, I think Magic does it perfect because, you do have the Crystal Palace and the Plaza and, but then you have Cosmic Rays because, you have those people that do want to come to Magic and do want to sit and have a long, lunch. But then you have the rest that want to ride the rides
Yeah.
and they just need to get in and get out.
yeah, I like it. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's so funny because there really aren't a lot of stuff that we just absolutely dislike, So it'd be hard, but yeah, my number one would be to go with turning either boat rights or Paddlefish into Tiana's.
Yeah,
And I think that would be such a great way to go.
Yeah.
All right, Brian asks, is there a reason Disney can't use the same video screens as Epic? The graphics on the Harry Potter and Monsters Unleashed are amazing and think they could really enhance rides like Flight of Passage. Wasn't sure if it's specific to just Universal use. as far as I know, Universal is not holding any sort of creative patents on those screens. What I think you're looking at is the fact that Flight of Passage was built, a decade ago, and Epic Universe was built 2 years ago, basically. Right. So you're looking at Disney needing to upgrade their technologies to what they are now.
Right.
Because while they are quick in passing, look at things like Cosmic Rewind and the screens that they're using in there, right? These big, large wraparound screens with a lot going on and high def. So when Disney finally says, we got to shut down Flight of Passage for X number of times, we need to go ahead and upgrade everything. I don't think we're going to see that.
Right.
Also, Disney doesn't rely on screens the way that Universal does.
Thank God.
And so I think that's a major part of it.
Yeah.
And when they do, there's such a smaller component. Look at Rise of Resistance and the screens that they're using in there. When you look at some of those and you look up at when the stormtroopers are coming in, when Kylo and General Hux are up when you're in the interrogation room. Yeah. Those are very well done screens.
Yeah.
And I think you see a lot of that kind of transfer over to Universal as well. But Disney doesn't seem to rely on screens as much as Universal does.
Yeah.
So I think that it really just comes down to a matter of when Disney is ready to take some of their screen heavy rides and finally refurbish them and use new technologies.
Right.
I would love to see Flight of Passage get a full screen makeover and lose the 3D.
Yeah.
Do
you think it'd be like Ratatouille though? And we'd get like...
Not if you get an upgrade. They didn't upgrade. They could have upgraded all the screens in Ratatouille, but there was no purpose. So they just stripped away the 3D.
Oh.
It's not like they upgraded the screens. All they did was strip away the 3D. You had the same screens. You had the same projections and technology. So what you would need to do is upgrade all of that. It's not just some of the screens, it's some of the projection, it's the equipment. But I think Flight of Passage could greatly use it. Because here's the thing, when that opened so long ago, that was mind-blowing. It's not anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like now you kind of go in and you're like, it's a little blurry.
Okay.
And it's not the best.
So then how come things like that when it opened was mind-blowing and not so much anymore? But yet Haunted Mansion and Pepper's Ghost still is.
I don't know. Sometimes you can't beat the classics, but imagine right now, if they upgraded Haunted Mansion and moved all that to some sort of screen for new people that come and have never seen it before, they might go, holy crap, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
I'd be like, no, it's not.
You know what I mean? I think Pepper's Ghost is, again, this thing was, I think it was in like the 1800s. Like this is hundreds of years old.
Amazing.
It's insane to me, and it still works to today. That's another thing is I think Disney just knows with rides like Haunted Mansion, I feel like the most technology they put in there is Hatbox, the footprints on the stairs, things like that, but they're still on such a simple level and it works so well for a ride like that.
Right.
If Haunted Mansion never ever existed and you went to build it and open it today, it'd probably look like Monsters Unchained.
Yeah.
But sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
of course.
Haunted Mansion ain't broke though. All right. Grace asks, what after hours or holiday Disney party is the best value? Last one I attended with my family was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. That was way back in 2004. At that time, it was a great value.
I would say that one still.
Yeah.
I think because there's so many different things when you get it. Yes, you get the candy, but you get trick-or-treating and a Halloween party, whereas you get to dress up, you get to where Christmas is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you don't get, it's not like you get presents. They don't give you things.
Yeah. And you dress up, but it's a very different dress.
It is.
It's not a costumed,
it's not.
Put your heart into it sometimes, yeah.
And I feel like, I guess even though you're kind of still getting the same thing with Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, it's just, I don't know. I don't feel like I know how to explain it. Yeah. It is just a different feeling and
and I think even though obviously the pricing has gone up since 2004 significantly. You are still getting the same value if you compare it to everything else that you get today.
Yeah.
Now not much has changed since then. I mean, some has, but you're getting a lot of the same things, a lot of the same type of offerings. While we have not done a true after hours party because most of them are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Yeah. And we just can't make it down here for that. I'm not sure I have heard a single person that has experienced one who said it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So really what I would do though, and again, Grace, like everything, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking at, I can spend money on an after hours party or a holiday party, then what is your motive? Is it just to ride as much as you can? Then you want to look at after hours.
Right.
Is it for the theming? Is it for the treats? Is it for the special parades and shows? Then you want to look at a holiday party. And as Rhonda said, I would highly recommend Mickey's Not So Scary. All right, last question. Brian says, we're able to squeeze in one park for one day on October 25th before we board a cruise the next day. My wife and daughter have never been to Walt Disney World, only Disneyland. What park do we choose?
Magic Kingdom.
Agree completely.
And then just open to close.
Yep.
Because then you can relax on the cruise.
Yes. And if you've done Disneyland,
yeah,
you're going to be familiar with Magic Kingdom for one.
Correct.
Right? As we talked about at the beginning of this episode, there is the most to do there.
Yep.
Doesn't say how old their daughter is, but probably going to love that the most.
Yep.
And so I think Magic Kingdom is an absolute no-brainer. And just like Rhonda said, I would try and tackle that sucker from opening to close. Get the absolute most out of it, because
100%.
Then you're going to sit on a cruise and have a lot of time to chill and relax. Have an awesome cruise. Not sure if you've cruised before, but if not, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
They are incredible. I cannot wait to cruise again. That is going to wrap it up for the Q&A for this time. I did ask for Wonderland Crew folks. We did ask in Wonderland Crew to do a kind of after hours separate Q&A specific to them. Keep your questions coming in. We'll look at recording that in the next week or so we can get that out to you guys. You can learn more about our Patreon group at Wonderland Crew at wonderlandcrew.com. House of Mouse Expo. Come out and see us this weekend. We would love if you come and say hello and support Scott and Michelle. And the House of Mouse is awesome. It is so much fun. If you're a Disney fan, you will love everything about it. Tons of great vendors, celebrity guests. There is an after-hours Star Wars party Saturday night. So again, houseofmouseexpo.com. Hit subscribe. Get brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. Of course, Rhonda and I and all these people in traffic, we would be so thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got, and we'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.